gratitude meditation. Find yourself a comfortable position, either sitting or lying down. Relax. Take in a deep breath and let it out. Notice your feet. You can move your toes if you choose. Feel how they feel as you move them. That's right. Think about what your toes and your feet do for you on a daily basis. All of the nerves, all of the blood vessels, all of the muscles, all of the cells, all the way down, are working in harmony together continually. Whenever you take a step, feedback goes all the way up to your brain and back down again, almost at the speed of light. Your feet are always working on your behalf. And think of what your feet are made of. They're made up of cells, and cells form different tissues. And tissues like muscles and fascial tissues and nerves and blood vessels and lymphatic tissues all are connected, all talk to each other, all work in harmony together to keep you upright. Almost an unbelievable feat. And we let this happen and not even notice it, although it serves us continually every single day. And all we have to do is notice the amazing work that our feet do, all the way down to our toes and all the way back up to the brain for us continually. Everything coordinated so well together. And all we have to do is think of how wonderful that is and feel our gratitude for how all of those cells, tissues, and systems work together specifically just so we can function on our feet. And as we think of that and have our feeling of gratitude, it enhances our connection with our feet automatically and allows them to work even more on our behalf. And the strangest thing is, when you break it down to the smallest level, to the cell and all of the parts of the cell, the same pattern happens. All of those parts of the cell working together so that the cell can work at its highest potential and keep you on your feet, talking to all the other cells, and all the other cells talking to other systems and the tissues to make it happen, all on your behalf. Just think about it for just a second, and in silence, be grateful for all that they do for you. And as we move up the legs into the calf muscles and all the tendons that connect to the heel, connected all the way to the bottom of the foot through the fascial tissue, all talking to each other, calf muscles doing what they have to do, responding in an instant, faster than we could ever think, to keep our balance. And each muscle group tuned into the other opposite muscle groups, talking to each other so that they can respond in an instant to keep you upright. How amazing is that? We have this gift of these body parts that are working for us continually, and all we have to do is be thankful for them to connect even deeper to them. And as we move to our knees, the amazing job that your knees do, and all they need to do is to move to create better synovial fluid that then enhances the cartilage in the knees. Scientifically proven that when your knees are moving, that the synovial fluid inside the knees becomes much more vibrant and then repairs and regenerates the cartilage even more. The work of Dr. Robert Salter, continuous passive motion, showed how quickly these joints can heal with just passive motion. And your body and your brain knows this just by feeling the movement and starts to rebuild and regenerate. And as we move up to the upper legs and all those muscles that stabilize your knees and allow you to carry a lot of weight and to move quickly and respond very, very quickly. And if we just think for a second how all that works together, it's almost unbelievable how it does it. And all we have to do is show some gratitude to connect to those areas even more so that they can work in a higher optimal level for us. And then as we move to the hips and how amazing the hip joints are and what they do for us to keep us upright, and all the hip muscles, all the muscles across the back of the hip as they contract just at the right way at the right time, supporting us as we move and allowing the knees to do what they need to do, and the hips coordinating perfectly with the knees. As long as we're conscious of it, it will do what we need it to do on the highest level possible, just by paying attention. And when we do and show it gratitude, it works even better, because now the connection between our conscious mind and those areas gets stronger. And when we think of the lower pelvic organs and all they do for us, the reproductive system, how that works, unbelievable how that works. And it's interesting, if we go to the cellular level and think of our DNA gets damaged. But don't worry, we have systems to repair it. And they are the strangest systems, because somehow we have this blueprint that exists somewhere outside us that knows exactly how we should behave and how our bodies should function. Because when DNA does have damage and the amino acids are damaged in the DNA strand, there's an enzyme called the scissor enzyme that knows exactly where the damaged amino acids are. And it can go in there and open up the DNA and cut out the damaged amino acids. But don't worry, after it leaves, a repair enzyme comes in and brings the exact amino acid you need for that chain to repair the DNA. And what we can do is just think of how grateful we are that all those systems are working so well for us. And the more we pay attention to them, and the more gratitude we show, science shows that all of the systems work so much better for us to keep us functioning at our optimal level. So as we give thanks to our lower pelvic organs, to our reproductive organs, to our eliminative organs, the things that they do continually to keep us healthy, just the thought of the microbiome in our intestines that helps to digest the food just the right way. And it's interesting to notice as we relax here and think deeply about our gratitude for all of this, that when you're in a state of gratitude, your system works in an alkaline fashion, and all the right microbiome, all the bacteria that work the best for us work in an alkaline environment. And when you're in a deep state of gratitude, it produces all the right chemicals in your body to form the best possible alkaline environment. And by doing that, it enhances the function of the microbiome. It's thought that the bacteria can morph from one type of bacteria, one that works in an alkaline system, to one that works in an acid system, which is a pathogenic bacteria. They can change from one to the other based on the environment they're in. So if you're in an acid environment, what ends up happening is the bacteria turn into more pathogenic, and they don't digest your food very well, and they cause all kinds of problems. So when we give our eliminative and digestive system our gratitude for what it does, and we stay in that state of gratitude, we produce all the right alkaline chemicals to keep us in that state where the best possible microbiome bacteria can live and work for us at the highest optimal level. And all we have to do is be grateful, deeply grateful for all of this working on our behalf all the time. And as we move up into the higher digestive areas, the organs such as the pancreas, that produces all the right enzymes to break down the fats and the carbohydrates and the proteins into their components so we can utilize them in the best possible way. Continually doing this all day long. And the more gratitude we have, the better the body chemistry and the better they work. And thinking of the stomach producing the right amount of hydrochloric acid. But when we look closely, the hydrochloric acid in the lower stomach turns into the exact opposite, a very highly alkaline chemistry that then is fed into the pancreas to allow the alkaline digestive enzymes in the pancreas to work much more efficiently. And the more gratitude we show in the state of gratitude and brain-heart coherence that is produced from our deep state of gratitude, the better our body functions, the better we are, and the better that we relate to other people in the world. And how amazing that is. And if you think as we move up into the chest, and think of how hard the lungs in coordination with the heart work to pump the blood through the whole system to carry all of the right chemistry, all of the right nutrients, the exact amount of oxygen we need to service us in all the different states we get into when we're exerting ourselves and when we're resting. And that happens continually, all day long, throughout our whole life, never stopping, all on our behalf, working for us at the highest possible level. And so if we just pause for a moment and think of how grateful we are as our brain-heart coherence improves to an even higher level, and our body regenerates and rebuilds at a much higher level. That is when the body and the brain and the heart are in harmony together, where we live a much more prosperous and better life and enjoy our life much better. And as we move up through the body and go to the shoulders and think of the amazing work that the shoulders and arms and hands do continually. And the similar feedback mechanism goes from the fingers all the way up through into the nervous system. And it's amazing how big an area of the brain is dedicated to the facial area, to the fingers, to the feet. All so we can function at a much higher level. And all we have to do is be grateful for how that happens. So we pause and think of how grateful we are that they're so working for us so hard, continually. And as long as we are connected with them on a positive level, thinking in a grateful way, they work even better. Muscles coordinate better. The brain functions much better. The brain is not distracted by other things. It can function and it can pay attention to what's needed to be done right at that moment and right at that time. All automatically. And the more brain-heart coherence we have by using gratitude, the better it works. And we think of how we do this world, all the senses that we have that interpret what we experience out in the world. That happens continually all the time. As we look out onto the world, we interpret what we see through our eyes, which is fed into our brain, which then is categorized on whether it's good, bad, or not, all inside our brain. And the more brain-heart coherence we have, the better we are at determining and then realizing not to react, but to respond. And when we can respond at the highest level of brain-heart coherence, our life is so much better that way. And just think of our balance systems, our inner ear balance systems, and even our hearing, and how amazing we interpret the sounds going on in the world all around us, all day long, and how our brain interprets all of those sounds, either good, bad, or indifferent, and how that brings about the feeling of how great it is or how negative it is. And again, under brain-heart coherence, with all that gratitude, we can then respond in a much more effective way, even in difficult situations. Martial artists study many, many years of learning to respond rather than react, because as soon as you react in martial arts, you're defeated. You have to respond at the right level, at the speed that is needed. Reacting never allows you to respond in the best possible way. Therefore, we just think of how wonderful this whole body is. And if you just think of how we interpret the food that we eat, how we smell, how we taste, and all those things working on our behalf for our betterment. And as we think of our brain and how it interprets things for us, and again, if we are in heart-brain coherence, we can think much better. There's a rule called rule number 1. Your brain pays attention to what you're paying attention to, and you get more of it. So, the best possible way to do it is tell your brain what you want in a positive way, not what you don't want. Unfortunately, in our society, we pay more attention to what we don't want than what we do want. And if we pay more attention to what we do want, we will get more of it. And that is the purpose of this book and these meditations, is to teach you to pay attention to what you want and allow you to be put in a situation that allows you to get what you want. Because when you're in total coherence, the universe always works with you. And so with that, and our total gratitude in the way that our body works continually for us, we just pause in a deep state of appreciation and gratitude for all that does for us. And the greater universe, the divine, that allows us to operate. And the more we're in brain-heart coherence, the more connected we are to the quantum field, all that is, the divine, that ultimate love space. So, as you're relaxing here and thinking of all the gratitude you have for this amazing thing we call the human body, all you have to do is remember once in a while how it's working for you, as long as you're in gratitude and brain-heart coherence and appreciating what it is doing for you. Then it works at its highest possible level just for you. So think about that for a while And always return to this to remember how amazing your body is and what it can do for you. And this was just touching the surface on all the things that it does for you. But the more you're in touch with the gratitude you have and creating the brain-heart coherence, the better it will function, the better your life will be, and the better your interaction will be with all of your fellow humans and all the other animals that we come in contact with, our pets. They're so serving for us. And so at that, we'll leave it at that and let you sit in a space of pure gratitude. And when you're ready, and only when you're ready, you can come back to now, feeling that total gratitude, that heart-brain coherence for all the gifts we have on a day-to-day basis and how they work for us, continually, never stopping, and much more efficiently when we're in gratitude in that heart-brain coherence. So slowly come back and remember, you can stay in a state of gratitude all day long. You can notice things that you're grateful for continually, and your day will be that much better. And when you're ready, come on